3 things I wouldn't do again and 3 things I would if we were starting our homestead again. I would definitely not try to do all of the things all at the very beginning. I would pick 2 or 3 things that were really important to me and get those done well, whether that be add a new animal or a garden or learn to can, but I wouldn't try to do all of the things right up front. You're hyped and ready to go and it's exciting, but it's also overwhelming and a lot of things don't get done well. When we first started, I already had layer hens, but we added to that flock. We did meat chickens, we did turkeys, we bred our goats because I knew I wanted to make soap. I did a really big garden. We added bees. I just hit the ground running, and looking back, I did a lot of things not well because of that. A lot of my garden we didn't even use, or I fed it to the animals. So it's just not a great idea to try to do everything all at once. We added the Great Pyrenees. So looking back, I would definitely pick 1 or 2 things. I would try to plan my garden a lot better, make it smaller, things that we were actually going to eat. And I just think that would make it not be so overwhelming. So that's definitely number 1. Just don't hit the ground running as hard, and try to really figure out what was important and what I wanted to make sure got done that first year. Number 2 is have adequate fencing for whatever animal you're going to have. So if you're going to get cows, make sure you have the right fencing for cows. And if you're going to get goats, make sure you have the right fencing for goats. Learned that one the hard way. The perimeter of our fence is good, so no one got out, but we did have some unwanted pregnancies. So we learned the hard way that the boys definitely need electric fence. We had read that, we just didn't do it. So again, number 2, make sure you have the right kind of fencing for what animals you're going to have. Number 3, and this one's probably pretty personal, but I wouldn't move any of our animals into the field until I had way more than enough water spigots than I thought I needed. The first year we didn't have water in the field, just for a few months. Nathan fixed that pretty quickly, but it was just down out the house. And in case of emergencies, that was not ideal. And also just having to lug water up to the pasture was not fun. It was a hot summer. Lesson learned on that one too. Looking back, if we were to buy new land, I would put no animals on it until there was water access right there. Things I would do again was the extensive research my husband and I both did on types of animals versus others. We looked at cows versus the goats, different kinds of breeds, what we wanted them for, basic upkeep, problems, and we ended up with goats because I wanted milk. A dairy cow was going to be too much milk, and I also wanted to make soap and lotion. And for the size field we had, we just felt that getting goats was best for us. But if I were to do it again, I would put in all that research plus probably more. I know sometimes you just see a cute animal and want to get it, but I'm so glad we did all of the research we did. One thing we did do small in the beginning was our goat herd. We started with 2 females and 1 male. He was actually a wether. And then we added our buck later, and I would 100% do that again, start out really small. That way, for a while, I was able to keep the babies we had, make sure that we had everybody in really good health, really good bloodlines, things like that. So 100%, I would start out really small as far as our herd goes. It's so tempting, once again, to see all the cute things and know you have a bunch of land and then just go crazy. We now have 21 goats, but we started with 3 and then 4, and then the first year we had tons of babies. So again, I would start very small, keep that part manageable. It made it a lot more enjoyable too. And the last thing I would definitely do again, and I highly suggest, would be to just have a basic first aid kit. I've got one obviously for the horse, for the goats, for the chickens. Again, did a lot of research to just see general things that I could treat and might come up. So I got familiar with signs and symptoms of sicknesses. We do go to the vet when we need to, but it's really nice to not have to freak out and run to the store when something's happening. So I highly suggest having a first aid kit on hand with at least the basics. It makes an emergency a little less scary if you know you've got something that you can get to in a matter of seconds rather than minutes. So yeah, first aid kit is a must. If you have any questions about any of that, let me know. We've been homesteading for about 4 years now, so still kind of new. This year I'm going to add in a garden again, but keep it pretty small. I'm going to add in turkeys again. If you want a video on basic things to keep in a first aid kit. I can go over that. I'm going to refresh ours this year. Yeah, so just let me know questions. And if you homestead, let me know some things that you would do again or not do again. And I would also just like to hear your opinions. Okay, bye.